Hello, beautiful souls. I think we're live. I'm so brand new to this. There's probably no one going to be here live, but I'm sure some of you will listen to it afterwards. I found that this is probably the easiest way for me to do a video. I was about to do a recording on Podbean and Johnathon, who is my main angel guide. He's my guardian angel that's been with me my whole life. Been having some really deep conversations with him today, and the angels are very, very much around me today. So I'm taking the opportunity to share with you, and they encouraged me to do this in this setting. So hello everyone. So you can see me. You can see the clouds behind me. I painted these the other day. To bring in more of that angelic presence that I am as a soul and the connection to that part of me. We have so many parts of us and so many memories. The more we awaken, the more these memories come in, and we are absolutely, without a doubt, in the most exciting and wonderful times here on the planet. We are in the midst of the Great Awakening, and we call it the Great Awakening, and there is so much excitement on the other side. The angels really want to talk to us today about holding our power, reconnecting to our true sovereign power within us, and they assure us that we will not misuse our power ever again. We, especially those of you drawn here, we have so many memories within us, so many traumas within us from misusing our power. It is so heavily ingrained through the matrix, and so much so heavy is that ingrained fear that it is stopping us and blocking us from taking up our power. And that saying comes to mind, you know, the greatest fear is the fear of our power. And I have had multiple clients over the years, and I have been doing soul sessions, healing sessions since I was 21 in a clinical professional setting. And the greatest fear, it just always comes back to that fear of misusing our power. There are many other fears, but fear is fear, and love is love, and love is truth, and that is another absolute thing that I am certain of. So we're here to chat with Johnathon. Johnathon is a mate of mine, and I'm getting real with you. He's a soul friend. We have had many wonderful experiences on the other side, outside of this universe, and I'm finally in feeling safe to share this really openly with everyone. The memories come now, and as they're coming, I am sharing them. Because we are in the Great Awakening and it is time. I will like to share just a little bit. I have been working with the angels and feeling their presence since I was young. Even I recall now, and Johnathon's giggling behind me. I can feel him giggling. When I was really little, around 3, I would spend over an hour just at my mum's feet. And I was feeling into it, and it's this unconditional love. Okay, so the love, we have these special relationships, and Johnathon's saying that unconditional love, just touching and holding someone in that space of love, is one of the most powerful things we can do for our loved ones. And again, I suppose that goes without saying for those of you that are parents, but if you're not a parent, or if you're having trouble recalling a time where you felt that pure connection with another human being, another soul, if you're having trouble on a human level, maybe focusing on an animal or trying to find that pure connection. And even if you're having trouble, then Johnathon's saying, tell them to think about watching a sunset or a sunrise, and maybe just a moment where you can feel the presence of God with you, holding you and talking to you. So Johnathon is here And he has helped stand guard over me, I suppose, especially in all the times when I have gone into full channel, which is another thing. We all channel to a degree. Sometimes we just feel something and we say it and we go, oh, I don't know where that came from. That didn't come from me. But it is a part of you. And this is what the angels are saying. They can't communicate through us. They can't talk to us. We can't have all of our friends, not just the angels, but all the other beautiful souls on the other side, including our family. They can't communicate with us unless we are in that unconditional loving space and standing in the power of our soul, which means in that moment we are channeling with our soul, with our true essence and our true authentic being. And all of us are unique in that way. I remember when I used to feel the angels come in when I was younger, in my early 20s, and I was doing lots of Reiki and massage and healing and having conversations and doing what is chakra balancing, and oh my gosh, you name it. I've done it in that field. And you always feel the presence of your guardian angel there. Have a huge presence. It's so big. And the more you can tune into that, the safer you feel. And tuning into that presence is like a mirror for us. It helps us to then feel our divine power and our angelic being within us. The angels are not bigger or higher than us. As souls, we are perfect. We set up this universe, this construct, we set it up so that there were, I suppose, when we felt lost, a being that remembered. So if you just see it, they're beings that are more awakened, and they are no greater and no less than us. That is another thing that is certain. So when Archangel Michael first came in for me, he was always there, and I'm like, oh, Archangel Michael, they talk about you being, the great Archangel, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to swear here, but that is utter bullshit. Just like with Jesus, who came in when I was young in scripture, and there is no hierarchy. I don't know how I can express that enough, but when you stand in unconditional love inside you in this field, and you connect with who you truly are, and then you meet them in this space, an angel or a galactic being or something that you have placed to be higher than you, even maybe a fairy, you meet them here. And when Archangel Michael, he's probably been, and Jesus and Johnathon, they've all spoken to me and talked to me about that. And my soul, I remember that. I remember being on the other side. I came in this lifetime with a little bit less of a veil. I chose that. I chose that for a reason. And when I was little, it was freaking scary. I would be seeing beings everywhere, and I had to shut that off. But I did not shut out my feelings of them. It's just the visual that I had to shut off. So the feeling is always there, and it has been proven to me, and I have proven to myself time and time and time again. And that's just from practice, daily practice, and being in that space and asking for confirmation. And the confirmation has come in all shapes and sizes. But I want to share with you the times, because Archangel Michael, which, he's kind of, I suppose, a bit of one of the famous angels, again, and he says that's bullshit, because what he's really trying to do, and he does have a sword of amazing blue light, it's like fire and plasma, and he can move it around, and he just holds power. All angels hold this immense power, and he is saying that when you hold that space, that is when I can talk to you on that level of truth. Because when you don't hold that space, you are going to attract other thought forms and other false energies or other illusions that are masking themselves to be him or whatever. Because the truth of it is, and I'll tell you this, I'll share this little thing when I channel, this is when my daughter was younger now. I think she might have been 9. And we were in doing a retreat, and some of you might remember, if you're listening, you might have been there. And he came through and he stood up. My physical body stood up so strong and powerful, and I was just like, whoa! But it was so much fun. And he was calling himself Mickey. He was trying to lighten the room. And that is the one thing I remember most when I channel, especially, someone that's such an awakened soul as Mickey, as Michael. And he is so much fun, and he has so much joy and passion. And he's the one, more than anything, when I channeled him, that was a turning point for me, where I went, and I'd already turned that point, I suppose, with Jesus or Sananda, when I'd spoken to him, and Mary, and all of those beings that we have put up in pedestals, and there are so many of them, including Buddha. But there was this moment when I was channeling, and I feel myself kind of take a back seat. It's like my soul steps back a bit, and I'm still here in my soul signature, and it's like I'm there. Michael's not kind of completely in me, but he's just with me. And I was having conversations in the background while he was talking. And I don't know how that happens logically. I can't explain it. But these conversations go back and forth. And it's a feeling of utter bliss. I've had people ask me, how do you feel when you channel? I feel blissed out. And I feel like that when I do my sessions, and the only reason I can get there is because I have chosen to embrace the power of unconditional love in me, that true almighty power. And Johnathon, who is here, he's such a patient soul. He's just amazingly stoic and strong and patient and kind. And he has been quietly waiting while I was still in this hierarchy thing, thinking, I wanted to channel this being and this being, and I called them in. But for me as a soul, Johnathon is someone that is able, because he's known me my whole life and beyond, and we're good mates, and we set this up when we came in. If you have a look at the picture that I put, I think they're called little thumbnails that I put at the beginning of this. I've got like these Stargates, and Johnathon wanted to put that in, and there's 2 women standing there about to go into the Stargate. That represents this universe, right? Going into this universe. And he said, regardless of gender or whatever, just mates, a soulmate. We're standing there, and he chose to be my guardian. He's been my guardian. So in this whole game, this universal game, he has chosen to be one of my main guardians, my main guides. And you all have one. You have a main guide or a main guardian, and there was other beings that we came in. I remember coming into this universe, into the creation of this universe, with many other souls. It was really exciting. We were so excited, and it has been a humongous journey. Time is one of those things that we can't explain, but in the illusion of the playing of light and dark and wrong and right and black and white, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's all been played out. We have done that. And for those of you listening, I want you to just take a moment and feel into that, and know that you are here and you have played your part. You have played many hats and many roles, the goodie, the baddie, the in-between, the mediator, and the Akashic records, the soul records of you, are overloaded. They are so overloaded, and this is what the Stargates are. The Stargates are when you want to get some information of that overloaded information of all the memories. You have had a lot of experiences here. I'd say most of you listening have had a huge amount, and we're been in this repetitious cycle for a bit with this. And I don't want to get off path, but I know this is going somewhere. Jonathan's saying, just bear with what we're saying, or what I'm saying, what he's saying, what that this whole I suppose this is a bit like a group conversation happening. That when we come to a point of awakening, and that is now, when you feel the alarm bells go off, when you say to yourself, enough is enough, I have had enough. That is you starting to stand in your power, doing fists. And it's okay for us to get frustrated and angry, because we have been doing lots of cycle. There's been a lot of death and rebirth, especially in the earth realm, but lots of death and rebirth. There's lots of memories in your whole field, and within these memories too, there are fears. There's things that you have played out in the illusion that are blocking you. But we get to a point where we go, enough is enough. I am really ready to wake up. And those of you that are going to be listening to this at some stage, you'll know that then, and enough is enough. I am ready. How many of you, I know I put my hand up, I'm like, I am ready. And I was ready when I came into this life. And a lot of you were, a lot of us were, but we have to go through other lessons and blah, 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 blah. And the awakening is gentle and it's slow. And then sometimes it's not so gentle and it's not so slow, but it's up and down, but it is unique. But this field of yours, your soul, that can transform into a stargate, that can get the information from the Akashic records, that can get all the information from the whole universal records and have any access to anywhere. You are, when you say that, when you stand in your power and your authority and you say, I am the soul, I am the soul, I am, and I command to wake up. I command to stand in my power. And your true power is pure unconditional love. The bliss, it is bliss. And in that moment, I'm going all the way back to what I said in the beginning, like when you as a mother, if you're a mother or a father, or you have that moment with that moment of connection, that blissful moment, there's just a moment. And that is when you get to reclaim your sword. And Johnathon and Archangel Michael and many other beings, but I'm just going to focus on those two because they are the ones that have been the closest to me. And Mary plays a bit of an archangel many times too. Like I said, we all do. You have an angelic, you have an ascended mastering, you have a archangelic presence. This whole thinking that you've got to get up and up and up and up. There is a little bit of that goes on, but it happens in you, and it is about reclaiming your sword, your sovereign sword, which is the flame of your soul. I'm just going to have a sip of my cup of tea, excuse me. And the flame of your soul, this flame of yours, it has no beginning and it has no end, and it always has been. And it holds the ether in it. It holds all colors, all rays of light. It holds all possibilities. And it is more powerful than you can ever imagine. That is your sword of light that comes from here. It comes from your essence, your being. And when you take up that sword, so I'm going to encourage you now to take up your sword, in here. to stand proud, even stand up if you want to stand up, to breathe, and I mean stand and breathe and reclaim the soul that you are, because you are born and always have been and always will be in the perfection of God, of source, of all that is. Pick a word. Oh, it's always been one, but let's just use God because it's one that is very universally known. But you know what I mean. You are that. You are that God. And in that is your whole unique soul, that not one other soul has your uniqueness, your exact vibration, your exact signature. And that can never, ever be harmed or touched. It can never change or shift, but you can build on that signature with experiences like we've experienced here. And Johnathon is saying that there is a huge authority within you when you stand and reclaim your sword of light. We're just calling it a sword. It is a staff, a weapon, a source of creation, of entire all that is, and you hold it here. And often when we've seen angels being drawn, and I'm talking about like seraphim, the archangel vibrations, they hold it here, and you almost like bow to that. But it's not bowing down to anything. It is saying, I am the power of all that is, and I reclaim my soul wholly and entirely, and nothing else can harm me or touch me or rock me or shake me unless I give my permission and I give my power away for that to happen. In the great awakening that we are in, there is nothing more important than you reclaiming your sovereign power that is almighty unconditional love, that is all-knowing. And no one else can reclaim that for you. I tell you now, Archangel Michael's not going to come flying down and go, so here's your sword, here's your power back. God's not going to do that. Your next door neighbor's not going to do that. I definitely can't do that. No one and nothing can do that for you except you. Except you. And you have a choice, because that's another thing that is unshakable and immovable, is you are granted free will. You are free. You are completely free to be you. And then in that freedom, we also have connections and knowing and wisdom. And the more we experience, especially experiencing a world that is so heavy in density like this one, that is so upside down and inside out, we've played the false light and the false dark. Now it's time to awaken and just come back home. And that's why channels like this, and it's all around us, all these channels and all these messages. It is time. It is time to spend time with yourself, to breathe, to listen to the voice of your heart and your soul. But in order to do that fully and not get swayed and not be caught up in illusions and your dimensional spaces and the dream matrix and going, I'm going to go into the 25th dimension or whatever, the time is here and now, and it is that sounded very new agey. I don't want it to sound here and now, because we have been on an amazing journey. But when you reclaim this sword of yours, when you reclaim your power, and that's a free will, moment by moment, day by day, practice, we have to remind ourselves, because we have been so heavily blanketed in forgetful land, as I've always called it. I love that word, forgetful land. So when you look out at the world around you, at other characters, as people that are pissing you off and pushing your buttons, or things that might be rattling you, just know that it can only really rattle you and push your buttons because you are still awakening, and you have had moments when you have given your power away. And that is not the time to be giving your power away. It is the time to go, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Johnathon's saying, I'm doing a good job. I'm just checking in with him again. It's funny how you can have multiple conversations while I'm talking. Come here, come here, come here, come here. And this is a moment in time for you, a moment in time where you get to choose, and you get to choose every moment from here on in to walk the organic timeline that you chose to walk, that you chose, that you set up. And this is so personal for you. You have a whole quantum light team, and that's why my podcast is called the Quantum Light Team, not because I want you to think that there's these beings of light on the other side that are all magical and they're going to come down and help us, or they have more words of wisdom than I do. No, you once you reclaim your power as a soul, you will open up all of the stargates within you, and you will source all the information you need at any time. The stargates have been called, the old Merkaba, flower of life. Yes, that is true for this universe. But on the other side, you don't even need that, because you just can access everything and go anywhere and do anything you want at any time, eternally. But in this universal game that we are in, oh God, there's so many words we could call it. There is a kind of, I suppose, a movement. You came here to the densest core of this universe, to the very center of this core, because you had something you wanted to do. So I'm asking you now, as a mate, to reclaim your power, to use your free will to help wake up the world around us, to help wake up all the other souls. And we do that in our own way. For you, you might feel when you tune into your heart and you get that guidance from your quantum light team to go, you know what, today, as you tune in every morning, fuck it, I'm not going to do anything today. I don't need to. I'm not going to. I'm going to have the day off from the external world around me, and I'm going to just go and potter in my garden, and I'm going to listen to my body. My body doesn't feel like eating, so I'm not going to eat, but I'm going to drink some water, and then you just kind of flow and you give yourself a day off. But what you do with that day off can be life-changing, or it can be just a day off. It can be as powerful and as transformational as you give your free will to it, as you command it, or it can be not much at all. So if you take up and that voice inside you and really listen. So I suppose where I'm going with this is, if you have the day off, for instance, and you go, okay, you listened and you took the day off because that's what your soul was really, really encouraging you to do. You really felt that. But then you kind of went, and you just had the day off and you didn't really do any more commands. You didn't keep that attuned vibration going. You didn't really listen to the rest of the guidance for that day. You just kind of went, I didn't really do much with it. Or you can use that time off, or that time within, even if you sat in silence for the whole day, with a bit of pen and paper with you, and you got some messages and you got some really strong guidance. So when you take up your full power in your soul, and you really take that up, those angels, your main angel behind you, that is always there behind you, he'll start talking to you, and it's going to, you'll start eventually, like I did this morning, so clearly, just hear it like a voice, as though they're right there. It's just right there. It's so real. It's realer than real. And how do you know that it's realer than real? Because you feel it in your heart. You just know. And it's a practice. So be kind, be patient, but be vigilant and strong, and start whenever you're ready. Start now. Reclaim it. Breathe with it. And it's going to be a lot more conversation around this. I'm just asking if there's anything else they want to relay. I suppose I'm going to have to start setting up some things. I really feel strongly that I'm going to start setting up some of these where I can have someone else sitting here or here and asking conversations, and then or asking questions, and for you guys to ask questions too, and so I can help you, help to guide you back home into yourself and into the true stargates of who you are. I know I'm using that word, stargate, or maybe it's a soul stargate. You are the soul stargate. And before I go, I'm getting one more little bit of information to share with you. So I've drawn up, and this is from channel, and I'm talking like years and years and years and years of channeling and focus and commitment to enlightening myself and the world around me and people around me. And these little symbols are like prayers, and I have 101 different ones of them. And the reason I have done this, and the reason they're asking me to talk about this now, is because we can use water and intention, and we can sit the water on a particular prayer, a vibration or code that will help you then, when you drink it, to attune you to that frequency of your soul. It works. These prayers work with you and your soul. They're not something that you put into you. They're something that you take charge of. And the reason, again, I am doing this, because years and years ago, I asked Johnathon. Actually, it was not Johnathon, it was Mary. And I felt her sitting on the bed next to me. It was when I was going through a really traumatic breakup with my husband. We're still together, but we had a breakup when I was young. And she was sitting there with me. And it was, again, so real. And I just asked her, and I've asked in channel since then for confirmation, why, how come it's so real to me when you're talking to me? How come I can feel it so much? How do you communicate with me? How do the angels communicate with me? How do I channel? How do I do all this amazing, get all these messages and just know things? How? I was just fascinated with how come I could do this. And it was, well, everyone can, of course, which I'm sure you know. Everyone can. But I said, how do you do it? She said, Mary said, through the waters, my love, through the waters of your body. All the memories of your soul are in the waters of your body. And this is how we communicate with you, through the memories, through the soul stargates. And the other thing I've been shown many times over the years, and why these symbols have come through, is it's not just about just water, but it's the energy, it's the source light, it's the void, the everything within us that then is speaking through the waters, is held in the waters. And these little prayers help, just like anything helps, just a little helping tool. They don't do it for you, but they help you to attune to that frequency of what you need in that moment to get the information you can, so you can hear the voices and hear God speak to you, so you can go to the void and get the information you need at any moment, any time. There'll be more of these coming, more information on the soul stargates. And yeah, so much more. But I'm going to leave it there for today, because I could keep going and talking forever and ever and ever. I suppose I'm a little bit of a chatterbox when it comes to this stuff that I remember and I know so well, that I feel so well, and I am so wholly passionate about. All my love. Reclaim your sword. Remember who you are. Be vigilant. Be kind to you and kind to everyone else, because who you are, absolute truth, is unconditional love. Fearlessly. Thank you, beautiful people, beautiful souls, my friends. And I look forward to chatting with you again very soon. Bye for now.